Greetings and salutations, gamers. My name is Kyle, also known as Gamers Week, and I've been looking at the wrong monitor. Hello, I shouldn't do that. And welcome back to the Dark Souls Deathless Challenge, where we try to beat Dark Souls without dying, and I will tell you, so far, it has been mostly failures, followed by this super good run. Today, we have got a lot of stuff that I want to get to, a lot of progress I want to make in the game, but first, I figured I would actually go do some grinding. One, because it'll kind of help me warm up a little bit, so that way I don't just, like, potato walk my way into Quelaag and get one shot. But also because I think it'd be good to have some extra souls, because I do know that I said I was going to go Chaos Blade this playthrough, and that means I need to begin upgrading the Uji-Katana right away. So that's what we're going to go for right now, is go for some soul grinding. But I'm going to go ahead and grab the weaponsmith box here, just because I want to be able to reinforce my weapons on the go. I still need to take my weapons to a blacksmith for any of like the big ticket upgrades, you know, like the big modifications. But as far as like upgrading to like +6 to +7, we can just do that really easy. And you may be wondering where I'm going right now. I'm in the Darkroot Garden. There's a pretty, I wouldn't say it's popular, but there is a soul farming spot here that I do really enjoy. Of course, I'm human. There's no way I'm going in with the forest servants, because that covenant is crazy, and there's no way I'm going in there while the covenant is active. So I will definitely just be avoiding that like the plague. But down this direction, there's a bunch of armored soldiers that are actually pretty easy to take out, and they give you 600 souls apiece when you kill them. So I'm going to grind up a little bit on souls with these guys, and we're going to see how many souls we can get. But just for this first run, I'm going to sort of show you what all I like to do. So they stand up, and our club is able to take them out in one hit, because the type of armor they have is pretty weak to crush type damage. I wouldn't say it's weak to it, but that's like their biggest weakness, is the crush type damage. So we just run around this way. We wait for it. You want to wait until you can target and then attack. And there you go. These guys can also drop some decent gear, but nothing we really care too much about. We actually managed to get a clip off on one of those guys. I doubt we'll be able to catch this guy before he gets up. No. So we're going to take out all of these armors and the foliage. Kind of tight spacing here, so we'll put ourselves in a better spot. Ow! Asshole. Yeah, these guys don't do a ton of damage either, so we're not, like, in any real danger here. That was a very weird dodge. I'm not sure quite what that dodge was. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab the Elite Knight armor set. We might use that in the future, we'll see. There's some better armor in this area that we can get our hands on. And then better armor in Anor Londo that we can get our hands on. And those are probably what we're going to be used when we want to tank attacks. And then we'll probably stick with black leather for the rest of the game as far as our light armor. We'll just see what happens. Alright, done with all the farming that I want to do for now. Looks like we've got enough souls to make this work for now. We have one extra Titanite shard in our inventory. Plus the 8 we need to buy, and then all the upgrades. That should get us to a +5 Uji-Katana, which is very, very nice. So we're going to go ahead and head back to Andre real quick and spend those. You know what? I think we can actually take this guy on. I think he's another 1,000 souls.
So, not bad at all. I'm a little spooked because this guy can hit quite hard. Maybe he might jump. Nope. I dodged there because his tail can do damage. Strangely enough, it has a weird hitbox. There's a jump. Ooh, nice stagger. Gonna avoid that. Maybe go towards the jump. Ooh, I missed the angle on that. I just throw under his leg. That's interesting. I haven't done that very often. Dude, that arm just gets me each time, dude. Whoa. You're getting a little spicy there.
A little too spicy for my liking, buddy. Okay, he's 2,000 souls. Alright, I'll take 2,000. Now we definitely have enough. 9,800. Okay, so we have 1. We need to get 8 more for 9. And then Uji Katana. Plus 5. So now we have another option for a weapon if we so deem worthy. I'm gonna go ahead and kindle this bonfire while we're here now, because that'll get us up to 15 Estus flasks. Unless I never took it up to 10. You know, I might have never taken it up to 10, so it's probably only at 10 now, but we can get that up to 20 when we're ready to tackle Sen's Fortress. And when we get to Sen's Fortress, we're gonna have a bit of fun, because that is probably my favorite area in the game, because there's a lot of cool speedrunner tricks that I can pull off there that are actually very safe and consistent to go for, and it makes the area very quick. Alright, let's see if we can get only one upgrade. Hold on, can we get Fire Orb? We need 8K. Oh, not a big fan of that one, Chief. I think we'll hold off for now. We only need 2K souls for a level up and attunement. I've got a large soul of Nameless Soldier. Not quite enough. That'll be alright. Time for us to head down to Blighttown, though. Because I do believe we are in a good spot for Quelaag. We did remember to grab the yellow resin, right? Yes, we did. Gold Pine Resin. Which is very good. Gold Pine Resin is going to help us out in this boss fight a lot. So with the Master Key, we can open this. God, every time that Disasters Are Gone after defeat of the Gravelord Servant thing pops up, every time that I get a little spooked. So now we can head into Blighttown. Now, even though we are taking the shorter route into Blighttown, there is still a lot of danger in this area we need to be careful of. We're just gonna juke around these guys for now. This guy can be a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes. Looks like he won't be. Alright, and into Blighttown, otherwise known as Lagtown to some people. And we're gonna take this very slowly and carefully. This is an okay drop. These freaking guys aren't that bad, but I don't want him getting in the way later. And there are some toxic blow dart guys that we need to be fairly careful of. One of them is right over there. And if he lands one on us, it's bad news bears, because toxic freaking hurts, dude. I'm so nervous to get on this thing. Okay. There we go. And now we should see the floating dog of wonders. There he is, right below. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, so now this swamp, the reason I've been collecting purple moss is because walking in this swamp poisons you. So I'm gonna avoid it for as long as I can to save on HP. And I'm running along this cliff because you can't run in the swamp. You can see I can just walk, unless I want to like regular walk like this, but this counts as me sprinting. So rolling is actually the faster option. And we're going to the right here to avoid those boulder holding guys, because they will frickin' lob those things at us. But you can see poison doesn't do that much damage. Toxic is like, I don't remember if it's like 3 times or 5 times as bad, but it's super bad, dude. But this will allow us to get into Quelaag's domain, which is the next boss fight that we are going to be going after. And as you can hear, there's another Bell of Awakening down here. So we're gonna go ahead and use up one of our purple moss clumps. Cure off that poison. Heal that up. And let's go ahead and actually equip the gold resin. I'm just gonna rearrange my inventory here a little bit. What the heck was that footsteps? Did y'all hear that? I'm just gonna rearrange my inventory here a little bit. What the heck was that footsteps? That was freaking weird, dude. Alright, whatever, though. So we're gonna go ahead and go in and use our pine resin. Some good old flame spider McBoobs over here. Alright, you have enough time at the beginning of the boss fight to turn on your resin. And now, we want her to spew a lot of lava. Spewing lava is the best thing she can do for us. We do not like that attack. It's an explosion. All you do is just hold your shield up to tank most of it. We can get out of this one. This explosion attack is bad because it deals a lot of damage. We don't want it. Okay, so she should continue her sword combo. Nope, she's gonna spew lava. Ooh, that's a long spew too. We like long spews. Okay. And that sword she has does a lot of damage, so we need to be careful. This lava's gone. So as long as you hug like this lower right part here, it's really hard for her to actually hit you with her sword. So you can see every time she swings her sword, I'm trying to get as close to her as possible. Like this. Oof. Sometimes the angle can get a bit weird, so you need to be a little careful. That's a jab that does a lot of damage if it hits you. I've had times when that multi hits, and it can clean one shot if you don't have a lot of HP like I do right now. I'm out. Nice. This is definitely a boss that I've been worried about. I'm gonna shield. This is definitely one of the bosses that I've been worried about, just because she has a lot of really potent attacks. Okay, that's an okay spew. She has a lot of attacks that do a lot of damage, even though they're pretty easy to avoid if you know what you're doing. She can do a hell of a lot of damage to you if you are not careful, just like that. Oh, I messed up. Think she's gonna spew lava? Yeah. Okay, we're fully healed. And you can see why I went for... That's a weird spot for her to spew lava. Okay. Oh, she went for the side thing. I was trying to figure out what move she was going for. I'm gonna bait her into an attack. She keeps spewing for lava when I want to heal. Yeah, we can see she's not being particularly cooperative. I say that and she goes for the exact attack I said I want her to go for. More lava. I'm starting to sweat a little bit, not gonna lie. Get her! Yes! Wait for it. Wait, where's the... Get destroyed, bitch! Alright. Quelaag is down. That should be 20k souls. Yes, it is. And, hey, no premature bell ringing, okay? Bell ringing is saved exclusively for me right now. And that is Bell of Awakening 2 of 2. And that's gonna wake up our golem friend here, who's going to open up the gates to Sen's fortress. An area that destroys noobs, but once you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. And hopefully I don't get one shot by a pendulum right out of the gate. So we've got ourselves another illusory wall right there. We can talk to this guy. We tell him yes. And then we wait for him to move out of our way. And now we can talk to this girl here who is Quelaag's sister. And we're going to enter her covenant, that is the Servants of Chaos. And the big reason we do that is because that'll give us the Great Chaos Fireball, which is a pretty good pyromancy. I'm wondering whether or not I really want to do this right now, but I think I should be okay. I have a lot of vitality, so I think I'll be okay to do this. This is an area that we don't have to come back to for a really long time, but there is a boss here that we do have to beat eventually, and there's a trick to killing him very quickly that if we pull it off right, we can basically instant kill the boss. But if we screw it up, then there's a good chance that he will just annihilate us and kill us immediately. So logically, I'm going with the option where we fight him right now. Because if we do kill him, that'll give us another 20k souls, which would be just super nice. So the idea of this is over to the left side here, you can see there's a lava waterfall there. We're going to enrage the boss by messing with the corpse of someone he very deeply cared for at one point. And that'll cause him to enrage, and then we're going to run all the way back to the door of the boss room while he's chasing us. And if we make it back with him without him killing us, then he will attempt to follow us over that lava fall. So yeah, there's Ceaseless Discharge. There's the boss in question. And by touching this, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure I'm fully healed. And by touching this, this will enrage him. So he's going to splishy splashy his bathwater. And now we make a run for it. I always jump there just in case, because sometimes he becomes really weird and like instead of like slapping in place like he usually does, sometimes he tries to attack you, and that's always what I'm afraid of. I've had it happen a couple times, and it's made me very unhappy because he does a ton of damage. So yeah, he should be following. Yep. And we just need to get all the way back to the door so he will jump after us. Now, we should be safe. We're just going to shield. Awesome. And now he's going to be sort of hanging over the edge here. And now we just beat his little arm here. You can see how little damage we do at this point in the game. But we beat his little arm until he falls off. We're gonna go ahead and start using our homeward bone. And that is going to dry up all of the lava, which will allow us passage later in the game. Which is going to be helpful because we sort of need to get down there in order to beat the game. For reasons that will become apparent later on. Okay, 42,000 souls. I want to get at least one level up here so I can get another attunement slot. So I can either get combustion here, or I can grab the Great Chaos Fireball, which costs 2 slots, but it's basically the Pyromancy Great Fireball, and it leaves like that Qualag lava, it leaves that behind wherever it splashes. So I might grab that, but combustion is also a really good Pyromancy that I think we might want to grab here. No, let's just grab Great Chaos. I'm perfectly fine with just having Great Chaos. It is a very good Pyromancy to have. And now, logically, we are going to head into the next area. You can see I did not spend any more of my souls because I want to buy more large Titanite shards. There is a merchant in this next area that does sell the large Titanite shards, and I do want enough of them to get to a plus 10 weapon. And thankfully, we can grab some along the way to him as well. But as far as buying them from him, he sells them for quite a bit of amount of souls. If that makes sense. They are quite costly. They are not cheap. So, definitely going to keep these boss souls on hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use some humanity here. I'm quickly going to move these up to the top as well. Just so we can kindle this up to 20 Estus flasks. There we go. So we put in one earlier, we're gonna put in these two now. We are up to 20 Estus flasks on the Undead Parish bonfire. I think we are ready to go. I just realized, though, that we have a bit of an issue. We need to get a large Titanite shard so we can ascend our Ujigatana to +6, so that way we can level it up on our own. So we're gonna have to run in here, grab some large Titanite, and then run out. But that's not too hard. There's a little arrow trap on the ground there. So we're gonna lure these guys out. These guys are pretty beefy and do a lot of damage, but there's a few ways to kill them rather quickly. We can use these arrow traps to damage them. We can also parry and backstab them. And our club here is doing some decent chip damage as well. Yeah, you can see they're doing like as much damage as Quailag was doing to us. Ooh, early parry. But you can't be early on a backstab. And they give you 500 souls a pop, so this is also another spot you can kind of grind for souls. Grab our Soul of a Brave Warrior here. Okay, these pendulums make me nervous. Typically, I don't get scared about them, but because this is a deathless run, I am a little spooked. Awesome sauce. So we're just gonna get up to the top here. Okay, she makes it through every other lightning ball. And we can use the arrow trap to finish her off. Or not. Oh, looks like we got one of them. The one that followed us up went down. I'd really appreciate it if she would go away. There we go. Just make her kind of go away there. We get the large Titanite shards. Alright, I want to get back to Andre real quick. Just so we can upgrade this Ujigatana. We'll be using the club for this next boss, because just like usual, it has a lot of armor. So, and again, club is really good against pretty heavily armored enemies. So that's what we'll be using for now. Okay, so back to Andre. We're gonna go ahead and modify equipment, upgrade our Ujigatana to +6. We might even be able to take it up to +7. Yeah, we can. There we go. So now we just need to get 7 more large Titanite shards into it, and we will be dead set as far as large Titanite upgrades go. I decided I'd come back to Andre for a moment because I just thought of another area that's coming up here. So I decided I was going to grab some more arrows. Not that many. Let's grab like... Actually, we can grab like 75. 100 arrows is more than enough. There's an arrow in... Wow. There's an area in Anor Londo that I really want to have arrows for. So we're just going to make sure we have those. I'm going to rest at the bonfire just to reset the enemies. And then let's get through Sen's Fortress. So this is going to be kind of like a speedrunner's way to get through this place. It's actually a lot of fun in my opinion. I love taking the speedrunner's route through this place. It's actually my favorite area to speedrun. So we're just going to run through those pendulums. Get around that guy by sort of starting right so he attacks more toward the right so we can get a little bit more room on the left. She had a really weird pattern there. That was probably my fault. And now we're going to run through this direction. This guy's going to get run over. And now we're just going to follow the track. We can say hi to Onion Bro. What's up, Onion Bro? Into this area. Run past the arrow trap. Now what we're going to do is we're going to backstep through the boulder. And backstepping, for some reason, the game gives you infinite poise. So that means, like, poise being the stat that determines whether or not an attack will knock you down or not. So by backstepping, we can just phase right through the boulder. We do take the damage of getting hit by the boulder twice, but it's nothing that's too concerning when we have this much HP. We can just sort of tank it. Now, normally you would just run past this girl, but I want to kill her real quick. That guy being there is a little more concerning, but we're not too upset by him. I'd really appreciate if he came back down this way. There we go. Now, if you have your flame out on your right hand, or if you have your magic casting item on your right hand, you can knock this one off a little bit. We'll let the lava kill her there. That's a free 500 souls. Now, typically, if you're speedrunning, there is enough time in between each cycle that you can sprint through like this. So if you want to take it slow, you can take it slow, or you can just sprint through. Either way, it's really good for you. And now this spot we need to sprint through as best we can because there's a guy chucking giant fire bombs up there. So we get some large titanite shards there. And now we're gonna make this jump here to go talk to this merchant. And he's going to sell us the large titanite shards. We need 7 of them. So as you can see, it was like 28,000 souls. It's ridiculous. And there's nothing else really that I want to get from this guy. You know what, why not? There is a shortcut key down here that we can grab, which will allow us to go in between the beginning and end of Sen's Fortress. Sometimes I go for it, sometimes I don't, but I figured since this isn't really a speed run, there might be some times that I go through here. I can't think of anything particular, but might as well, right? Wow, really? So cage key is going to allow us to unlock a little cage elevator. And now we're just gonna proceed on through. This is the cage I was just talking about. I'm just gonna step in and trigger it. There we go. And now we're going to kill the giant firebombing golem up here, because he will screw with us during the boss fight.
Alright, this guy. He's pretty easy to take out. So I figured why not. Here's the souls. Here's us a titanite chunk. Alright, he's gonna go for a ton of like an waste attack here. At the end of which he just sits down. We're just gonna use our jumping attacks here to grind on his health bar. One more will do it.
There we go. And we can see off in the distance the next boss fight we have to take on there, the Iron Golem. Which isn't too hard of a boss, but he has some pretty BS ways of killing you. I went out the wrong door. We're gonna head out this way. So no more fire bombs here. And we're gonna drop off left here. And this is where we picked up those large titanite shards and that soul. If we approach this ledge very carefully, it should drop us on top of a bonfire. Very nice. Alright, now we have the souls that we want to level up with. And we're also going to reinforce our Uji Katana a couple times. And it should be a plus 10 at this point. Yes, plus 10. We could actually try to use that on Iron Golem instead of our club. I don't know if that'll do much more damage, though. Alright, and here is Iron Golem. Now, this guy can be pretty annoying. He can knock you off the stage pretty easy, but you can also get him to fall off the stage, which I am actually pretty bad at, but it is something that's possible. Be careful here. There we go. So now if we hit him enough, he's gonna fall over. you could tell I really wasn't trying to get him off the stage there, because he was quite a bit of a ways away. But that is one way you can do it, is you want to knock him over like that towards the edge, and that will actually kill him. Be careful of that swipe there. Whoa, okay, that's bad. Not too bad, though. Yeah. I was just watching the angle which he was swiping, and he's gonna really miss us. This is like one of the few bosses who kind of has a hard time hitting you, really, sometimes. I don't know why. It might be because of the terrain, how he interacts with it, but I do know that this guy does have some trouble hitting you sometimes. He's gonna regain his balance there because we don't have our resin on anymore. You can see how little damage we do. We can actually do a bit more damage probably by hitting with our fireballs. It is an unupgraded flame, but fire kind of bypasses armor, so that'll give us enough damage to take him out for now. And that is another boss down. I think it's like 40k souls, something ridiculous like that. Yeah, 40,000 souls, dude. Hell yeah. But we're gonna go ahead and say goodbye to the early game as we head into the first big roadblock of the run. First big roadblock, really, for any Dark Souls player, at least in my opinion. The city of the giants and gods itself. And Orlando. And y'all are going to see, if you've never played Dark Souls 1, you're going to find out very quickly why this area is a brutal gauntlet for Dark Souls players. And it's going to be twice as brutal trying to do this place deathless. So first of all, these guys, we're just going to leave them alone for now. No reason to fight them, really. I'm also going to go ahead and equip my Ujigatana. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me? Is it seriously just too heavy? Was it, or was I being stupid? No, see, that is a medium roll, yeah. Is there anything a bit lighter we can put on than 1.2? I mean, we go for the sack. Really, it's still too heavy. Damn. So I think we need 16 strength and 16 dex in order to wield the Chaos Blade. I could be wrong on that, but I believe those are the right stats. And of course, we're going to continue to level up our vitality. And there are some items that we need around here. So to the left and to the right, there are big giants guarding things, and I want to take them out on both sides, because I think on one of these sides are Demon Titanites, and I really want Demon Titanite because you use it to upgrade boss weapons. This dude's freaking shield tends to block attacks, yeah. I'd love if I could lure them out one at a time. These guys freaking hurt when they hit you, but they are pretty easy to take on. So now they're Ujigatana. We're probably not doing as much damage as a +10 would do, but you could see there was a bunch of blood that came out of that guy. Not a +10, as a +10 club would do. But you could see that guy started bleeding and took a whole bunch of damage. That's because this weapon can do bleeding damage. And so can the Chaos Blade, but the Chaos Blade has some bonus features to it. At least we're gonna see the blood here. Yep, and a whole chunk of damage. So the bleed effect is really what we're on the hunt for here. Anybody else hear whispering? It was weird. There's Twinkling Titanite. Oh! My Siri is going off again. What the heck? I thought that was a whispering. I'm like, why is there whispering going on? But it's just Siri on my bed going off. Once during XCOM, once during Dark Souls. I think it's time for it to go off during Halo soon. The Halo co-op. Alright, and I think I'll be back after these two guys are done.
Alright, one down. Sometimes these guys can drop some goodies. And they also give you 1,500 souls apiece. So, I mean, not bad at all. Really? That hit me? That's right, back off, buddy.
And this one's the Demon Titanite. Yes, it is. There we go. We want to get a hold of as much Demon Titanite as possible because, again, we can use it to upgrade our boss weapon, which will be the Chaos Blade. But now to start the Anor Londo Gauntlet. This hopefully goes well, because of any area in the game that makes me nervous, it's this freaking place. I've lost a lot of lives in this area. Not in this particular challenge, because this is, you know, the first time I'm really doing a full attempt of Deathless, specifically. But, oh, I'm getting cocky against this gargoyle. But yeah, which, by the way, we start off this area with a freaking gargoyle, which is a boss. And if that doesn't tell you that we're in for something, I don't know what does. But back behind the stairs here, we can drop down again to find more Demon Titanite. I know a lot of people actually try to farm for Demon Titanite a lot, but a lot of people seem to forget that there's just a lot of it in Anor Londo. Like, I do believe there's almost enough to even fully upgrade an item just here in this area. Okay, next is we gotta use these, I don't even know what you call this, a buttress? Rafters? We gotta jump over here. Yes, this is the actual intended way to get through the game. We got a painting guardian here. These guys are quick, nimble, and they chuck stuff at you. They also have the ability to backstab you. And we have to go across these very thin rafters with a bunch of these guys on it. Now, I typically would go across like normal, but I decided that I'm going to take this a little safe. I'm going to try and snipe them off here using a bow.
We're going for headshots for the extra stagger. Okay. It's been a while since I've used one of these things, so I just need to recalibrate myself. And I'm just gonna do some damage to them. This is why I got all these arrows. The reason I'm allowing myself
To shoot so many times is because I've got these arrows. Alright, that's one down. And I'm gonna take out all of the guys off these rafters because, yes, falling off these rafters is death. You can see how much of a fall it is. So, falling off these rafters is indeed a death sentence.
And this dude's probably gonna start throwing knives at me. They typically do, yeah. But we have a 95% damage.
Reduction shields to physical damage, so we're fine. We're gonna fight these guys very safely. That's another one down. Got a little bit of an area with better footing here.
Alright, come on, we gotta get at least one headshot, right? Guess not. walking and running, walking and running.
It's kind of trolling me, not gonna lie. Oh. I'm gonna heal here. Ah, I didn't quite make it. You can see how much damage these guys' knives do as well. Eventually, he should come for me. These guys do eventually run out of patience. Eventually. There we go. And there we go. So yeah, this is a chandelier that you can boink, knock it down. And there's a body that has a spell on it called Great Magic Weapon that you can get. I'm not a sorcerer, so I don't really need it. And I'm probably not even going to head down to that area, to be honest. So I'm just going to take this very slowly. I keep hearing some weird background noises, but it's fine. Okay, I should be good now. There we go. And as if all of that weren't bad enough, it ain't over yet. Gauntlet won't stop. So we're gonna go ahead and push this to rotate the pathway down. On the left side of the screen is where the spot where the gargoyle was. So now we've connected the path to the main keep of Anor Londo. And we have another gargoyle. I don't know why I healed there. I didn't need to. I just instinctively healed.
We're gonna fight him on this weird elevation, seems. Alright, that works. He'll be back up enough. If he's not in range, he's gonna attempt to move to a spot where he is in range. As his AI dictates he does.
There we go, another gargoyle down. Okay, so the reason why he dropped all that stuff is there's a cool little rule in the game where if there's a finite amount of enemies, like the gargoyles, there's only 4 of them, the 2 on top of the church and then the 2 here. By the time you've killed all of that finite amount of enemies, you will get all of the drops. So, like, for example, we did not get a single gargoyle drop from the previous 3, so because he was the last gargoyle, the game 100% gives us that drop to that gargoyle, because that is the last gargoyle we will find in the game. So just kind of a cool hidden rule in the game. I'm gonna run back this way, just to get them to reset. Cool. And now we're gonna use our fireballs, hopefully, to take care of some of these guys. Or at least help take care of some of these guys. And these guys are a pain in the butt. They have very little poise, but their spear does like pure lightning damage. So they can do a lot of damage very quickly. I'm just gonna try and knock this guy back. Awesome. And we want to kill all these guys if possible. There we go. And now, this is probably the most difficult part of the game right here. Not gonna lie. One last challenge before we're actually inside the keep. And it ain't easy. Oof. Already in a bit of a rough spot. Whoa, why am I medium rolling? I just realized, why am I medium rolling? Don't snipe me, bro. Oh, because I have the bow on. I didn't realize I was medium rolling all that time. Okay. So, getting past them didn't really work, so we're just going to let one of them fall off, and then we'll fight the second one. And again, I'm fighting them very carefully. because these guys hurt. And as you may have seen, hold on. As you probably saw, I got hit behind by something. You can see there are these archers here. And they shoot, you'll be able to see one. That is the size of the arrow they shoot. And we've got to run up these buttresses here. Or rafters, whatever you want to call them. Without being sniped off by these guys. And as you may have been able to see on that one when I began to run out, they do kind of track your position. It sounds weird, but they are like homing in a way. So yeah, that is a little bit of bullshit. So we're just gonna stand right here. A lot of the time they get caught. The other guy can't see us. Awesome. So now we're gonna see if we can get a parry on this guy. Good stuff. Okay, one more. And there we go. That area is, for new people, is really freaking difficult, dude. It's a good thing I've probably done that spot over 100 times, because even with all my experience, I wish I could show you. I'm freaking sweating. My controller is just covered in sweat. Okay, so we're gonna have a little bit of a longer episode, but we're gonna try and get done with Anne Orlando in this episode. I don't need to be in here. So these are Silver Knights. You saw me kill a couple of Black Knights. These guys are kind of like the same thing. They have a lot of similar properties, but they're a tiny bit weaker and they respawn. They're also pretty freaking easy to beat. Oh, I should have kindled the bonfire. Whoops. I am not dying to a freaking Silver Knight. In fact, I'm gonna go back and kindle the bonfire real quick. Okay, guys, so real quick, I did see that there were summon signs and stuff on the floor. And I did remember that this is a pretty popular place for PvP, and I'd really rather not lose this run to a PvP interaction. So I went ahead and turned the internet off on my Xbox, or I told my Xbox to stop from going online, because I just don't want to deal with that today. So this area is going to be hard enough without the freaking invaders on my tail, let alone when I'm being chased down by people whose entire goal in life is to kill me, and have probably created builds specifically made to kill me. So we're just gonna do this offline so we don't have to deal with invaders. Okay, so right after that Silver Knight, we can head into this area where we can find another illusory wall here. And we're going to be grabbing some armor in here. So on this side, we will find the leggings, gauntlet, and the armor and head. There's also some extra stuff we can grab here. The great shield. And this should be the dragon tooth. Yeah, that's a pretty strong weapon, so we can go ahead and grab that. And that final chest is a mimic, which I don't frankly feel like fighting, especially because all he gives us is a club with occult enchantment, which I don't necessarily want right now, because occult is good for some things, but not necessarily a lot of things. So there is a little skip here you can do to get through most of the area. I'm going to avoid it for now, only because I don't need to do it. This should be the locked one, yes. So we're gonna head on through here. I'll just see that knight attempt to get back to us. He knew we were there from through the wall. Thought that was a little interesting. Either way, these Silver Knights, by the way, give 1k souls for each one you kill. And I've had a lot of experience fighting these Silver Knights, so Nothing to worry about. There we go. And now we've got a few more Silver Knights to deal with in here.
Going to lure him in. That's another Silver Knight down. And now we've got 2 Burrow Seaths to take on here. We can lure them through with fireballs, though. If we can not hit the freaking bed. Keep backing up, poor boy. You don't have any healing. At least I don't think you have healing. That was a very ready lunging attack I haven't seen in a long time. Whoa. Okay.
That was weird. But we can kind of Sekiro our way through that. And 2 more Demon Titanite. That puts us up to 5. I feel like we're short some. Interesting. That's alright, though. I know there's 2 more that we can get soon. After that, though, we'll probably have to backtrack to get some. I'm just trying to think of all the areas where we can get Demon's Titanite. We could probably get some from Sen's Fortress. There we go. What did that fight take? Like fucking 10 minutes? Jesus. Okay, well now that that fight's finally over, we could jump past this guy and open this door. That's gonna lead us back towards the bonfire, so we can refill our Estus.
Oh yeah, the spear guys had a lot more HP for some reason. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of souls. We're probably gonna spend a lot of them in the blacksmith though.
To refill all of our Estus. And I don't think we're definitely not gonna have a +5 boss weapon, which is the best you can get on boss weapons. But we're gonna have a +4, and +4 does a lot of damage. And that'll give us the Silver Knight armor, so we can be a Silver Knight one day if we really wanted to. So we're gonna head over to the blacksmith in this game, who creates boss weapons, just like in every other Dark Souls game. And we are going to use the soul of the boss Quelaag to create for ourselves the Chaos Blade, which is a very strong dexterity weapon, but it comes with some trade-offs. So the Chaos Blade is very powerful and has really good range and does bleed damage and does chaos, but it's a chaos weapon. So the idea of a chaos weapon is, you see I have active humanity in the top left corner, which is my counter up there. So chaos weapons, we're gonna go over to Chaos Blade. So chaos weapons deal more damage the more active humanity you have. I need more souls. And we need 3 more Demon Titanites. So we're gonna have to go find and kill some more Prowling Demons or Titanite Demons, whatever you want to call them. So the idea behind Chaos Blade is, I wonder if, yeah, it's only when I hit enemies, is the more humanity I have up in my top left corner, the more damage I do. Now that caps out at 10. And it's gonna be a pretty sizable buff in damage. Now, usually the payoff is every time you die, you lose those 10 humanity. However, this is a deathless run, so it's not like me losing those is gonna be a big deal in the first place. So, that being said, I think we have a pretty damn good weapon. Almost all of the Estus we'll ever need. I mean, we could have 1 more Estus flask, but, well, depending on how well this next fight goes. Oh, and the Chaos Blade, the other thing it does is, you can see I take a little bit of damage every time I use it. Which is obviously a little bit no bueno. But I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. But I think it's time we go for the real reason this area is hated so much and take on the hardest boss in the game. At least mandatory boss. And my palms are already sweating. Yo, dog, I heard you like taking on 2 bosses at once. And this is why Anor Londo is seen as such a gauntlet. Is because of all of the stuff we've had to fight so far is capped off with 2 bosses at once. Each one being no slouch. So the idea for me is for the easier route, you're going to want to take on the small one first, then deal with the big guy. Because the big guy is really slow, and the slower guy is really fast. So you want to sort of separate the 2 of them out. Okay, I'm in a corner. This is really bad. There we go. But another thing about these guys is you cannot lose your cool, and you want to stay at full HP if you can. So yeah, Orenstein, who's on the left, we want to see if we can whittle him down. Now, if you're speed running, there are actually ways you can take this fight a little more dangerously. But we're not gonna do that because I really don't want to die to these guys. Alright. So Orenstein has a lot of lightning attacks that can kind of throw off our groove a little bit here, but nothing too bad. And they are really not cooperating today. You can see they're kind of staying as a tight unit, which has really thrown me off here. I need to make sure I keep Smoth in the corner of my eye at all times, because again, he can do that to our health bar. And now this is where the difficulty comes in. Orenstein's gonna want to go in for the finish. As you can see, his dash attack can glitch out very easily. Oof. Rough spot here. That like slide attack that Smoth does can be very annoying to deal with. And he's just spamming them right now. It's easily his most dangerous attack. Okay. Looks like they chilled out for a moment, but that was definitely rough there for a second. Okay, we got some good damage on Ornstein there. Good. Those jumping attacks from Smoth are actually much better than some people may initially think, because they've got a very large wind down time on them. And we can see that Smoth used that sliding attack again that I hate so much. You know, I'm just gonna cap off our HP bar here. There we go. Ornstein down. We want to get... Ooh, that's bad. Okay. That's kind of the most stressful part of the fight, but there is a phase 2. So, depending on which one you kill first, the second one gets a super buff. Smoth, when you kill Ornstein first, then Smoth gets an increase in damage, and he gets lightning magics. And we got knocked down right where his phase 2 spawns. So kind of bad. This means we have to back up before we heal. So now we gotta take on Seath. I like to shield through this. You can get out of range of it if you move fast enough, but I hate taking that chance. Yeah, so you can see these large attacks he leaves a lot of room for, and you saw that large burst of blood probably. We got a lot of damage on him. Wow, that hit me. Okay, he did that attack, but we were at a pretty good angle to where he couldn't easily hit us. Okay. Not too bad there. We got a stagger, nice. That'll allow us to get a little bit of distance. Okay, do that jump again, buddy. That works. We like that attack as well. Ooh, another bleed. That attack is fine. He goes down. Let's go, baby! Oh, God! Oh! Oh, I've been stressing out about that fight for like a week and a half now. However long it's been since I posted the last episode. Oh my God, dude. And that is the gauntlet done. I like to call Anne Orlando the gauntlet because you've got bosses, rafters, the freaking archers, all topped off with Ornstein and Seath. Man, it is a brutal area to get through, but feels so good once you're through it. I'm gonna put a little bit into endurance here. Get some more HP. Hell yeah, dude. And our reward is we get to talk to Lady McBoobs herself, Guinevere. Hello, Guinevere. Oh. I'm so glad I beat Anne Orlando. You know, I'm skipping through this. Whatever. Alright. Check you later, Guinevere. We got things to do. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and go put the Lord Vessel down. And that will be the end of today's episode. Man, what an episode. It's gonna be kind of a longer one too, but yes, with the power of the Lord Vessel, we can now fast travel between select bonfires, one of them being Firelink Shrine. And I am very happy about that. So now we can go talk to our buddy Kingseeker Framtier, who's gonna see we have the Lord Vessel, and he's going to eat us and then spit us back out in the Firelink Shrine. And by placing the Lord Vessel, we can now get to all of the end game areas. Which, by the way, I know it's kind of a Dark Souls meme at this point, but how is he carrying that in his back pocket? Just, no. No. No, he was not. There's no way. And now the Tomb of the Giants, the Duke's Archives, and the Lost Izalith are all open, which are 3 of the 4 bosses we have to beat to unlock these doors to the final boss. And I am not ready. Either way, though, I think that's where I'm going to drop it off for now. I wanted to quickly apologize for there not being a video on Sunday. The reason for that, I hope it will make up for it. There has been a project I've been working on for a little while now, and I actually pushed it off for a while because I was actually not very happy about the way it was turning out. I didn't like the way that the voiceover sounded because it was before I fixed all my microphone problems, which you've probably, if you've been with the channel at least a decent amount of time, you know that a long time ago I used to have a really crappy microphone. At least it was a good microphone, but I had no idea how to make it sound good, and now it sounds like 1,000,000% better. And before I got it to sound better is when I tried to do the voiceovers.
So the asylum is pretty straightforward. Run past the demon, grab a shield, and for this run I have to ignore the dagger just so I don't instinctively use it on accident. So the asylum is pretty straightforward. Just run past the demon, grab a shield, and for this run I have to ignore the dagger just so I don't instinctively use it.
And I just really wasn't pleased, so I spent all of Sunday basically restarting the project and just making it sound and look better. And I can say that I'm 1,000% more satisfied with it than I was before. So look forward to seeing that. In case you're wondering what it is, a little sneak peek, I can tell you it is a Dark Souls video, and it is a challenge of some kind. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Keep an eye out. If you did want to see that video, best thing to do is to check back every now and then, you know, see when it comes out. Or, well, nice voice crack, Kyle. Or you can always subscribe to the channel. You know, pop that subscribe button and ring-a-ting-ling the little bell to be notified whenever I drop that video or any other video. But either way, I hope you guys really did enjoy this episode. I know I've been super stressed about it and super sweaty, but it looks like we've made some real progress. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later!
Live.